Well, hey there, I'm KK, and today I want to talk to you about why the hidden resignation is likely affecting your business and affecting your outcomes. First, let's talk a little bit about that hidden resignation. It's the one that maybe you're not as aware of, which is that you may have folks on your staff, whether they're employed or 1099, that work with you right now that are not operating at their best, right? They're not super focused on the important outcomes of the business, and they may not be contributing to the bottom line as much as you may think. Well, a little bit about why that may be. Not only is burnout and I think some of the frustrations of the last couple of years and maybe how the business climate has really weared on not just you owners and operators, but also your staff and the teams that you support. And so while I do have this very obvious, like pick yourself up by the bootstraps and get stuff done personality, I do want to take a moment and talk to you from a very tactical perspective about what it means when your team is still around but dragging you down. Ooh, I like that. Still around, but they're dragging you down. Let's talk about it. So while I think millions of people all around the US are quitting their jobs and trying something new, or quitting their jobs and going out on their own and venturing to become entrepreneurs themselves, there's also a large number of people. In fact, depending on who you listen to and where the numbers are, there are more people that are in this hidden resignation. That means they're still employed. You're still paying them to give crap outcomes. And they're really hindering the business in ways that may not be measured on the large scale yet. They're hurting more than just your bottom line. They're hurting the other people in the business that are there for the right reasons and that are willing to do what it takes. And they're likely dragging your KPIs down. So I'm going to approach this from two different perspectives. While I do believe that there are times where you may have team members that are spread really thin, and maybe you're doing more with less, which leads to difficulties in managing and leading right now, probably more than ever. I think it's also fair to realize that not everyone who's struggling will pull you down and leave you stuck, but the only way to know for sure is to have a feedback loop or a process with your team where you're not just investing in them financially, through pay, but also that you're hearing them, that there's a place for them to air grievances, ask questions, and even request things that you don't want to do. And that can be really tough. I mean, especially now, but it always has been, if I'm being honest. Working in the industries that I support, many of you are small and medium business owners. So the idea of an employee coming to you with a list of things that need to be done in the business that you have no budget, time, scope, or interest in doing can be so frustrating. I know, I've been there. I live that life as a business owner myself. But at the same time, if there's not an ability for anyone on your team to kind of have a two-way rapport, you can see where these hidden feelings start to seep in, and unaddressed communication gets worse. Let me say that again. And this is true in business and in life, by the way. Take that to the bank. Unaddressed communication gets worse. So that means the idea of kind of not addressing issues or not addressing needs can be some of the worst things that you do for the people that you work with, the people that you're hoping will contribute to the business best practices, and of course, the financial success. This is a tough one because I see it on both sides. I see where, especially in small business, our margins are typically tighter. Our desire to hear from our team things that need to be done is even less than honestly big business, simply because there's not as many of us, there's not as many people or things supporting the business, so it always feels a bit personal. Whereas if you were, the CEO of insert your favorite large business here, it wouldn't be a big deal because the average person isn't getting to you. They can put all the craziness on Twitter that they want, but they're not getting to you personally the way they do with small business. And by the way, that's a frustration I've had as a small business owner myself for a very long time. It's like, why don't they go tell the CEO of Target or Starbucks all their grievances the way they do with us in small business, right? But we are where we are, and many of us love being in small business because of that people component, right? Because we're closer to our core customer, and we really do get to know them and their needs at a much deeper level, and it's what makes many of us very successful. So the balance needed here is to find the wins that you can actually provide for your employees long-term and short-term. So as an example, things that maybe are really difficult to address now, if you can show a plan or an interest in even considering in the long term, studies really do show, and has shown for years, that in HR specifically, when we measure compensation, it's not the most important thing that an employee wants or needs. They want to be heard. They want to feel like they're a part of something bigger than them. They want to feel like they're valued, and they want to truly believe that what they do is special, is remarkable, and is respected. So a lot of times, simply having that feedback loop can do wonders for allowing employees to feel like they're actually involved in the business instead of just working in the business. And to be honest, the burnout is real, y'all. Like, I know you're feeling it as business owners, and just imagine, I just want to be real for a second. You're feeling it as the business owner, but you're also getting the rewards being reaped of the hard work. Sometimes your staff has not. Maybe they haven't gotten a pay increase. Maybe they haven't been given a bonus for an exceptionally good KPI being met. Maybe they don't have the same package of benefits that their friends do in big business. Look, I know I'm touching a tough one there, but it's the truth. And in order for them to see the value in helping you to grow and realizing the business success, you really do have to give them your ear, right? But you also do have to put some things in place that maybe you have to work towards slowly, surely, but that you'll plan to get there, and you can show that. So there's so many examples of this that I could think about, and I'm sure you're thinking of the 2 or 3 right now that either I've struck a nerve or you've known for some time that you're avoiding with your team. And I want to encourage you to lean into that. I want to encourage you to think not just about the long term, but what are the small wins that you can provide them. And look, I'm already pissing you off. I might as well keep going, right? Please don't take this as a reason to do something surface level like a pizza party, or something like a one-time fix that you think is going to placate people because they see right through it. Okay, I'm off the soapbox now, but I've seen it and I've had to talk clients off the edge of doing it. And I just want to remind you that one thing that we typically lag in the business climate, although small business is by far the largest sector of business in America, depending on the size of your small business, right? Because it's the definition of a small business is 500 or less employees, which seems like a massive gap for many of you. But just to be fair, it's really hard to meet the needs of your clients if you don't have a team to support you of any kind. And I know my solopreneurs out there are like, ding, 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 she got it. So when you have a team, you really have to consider them your first client. Period. They're the first client that you have in order to reach the clients that pay you. And so when you think about that first client being your employee, you may not be able to match all the benefits and the perks and the insurance of what big business can do, but you can absolutely do the small things, the consistent things, and you can find resources to help you go toe-to-toe with big business. And I'm super passionate about that because I've done it. I've helped clients to implement these things and seen employee retention improve, and to see their margins also improve because of that. Because remember, turnover is not your friend. So the idea of burning an employee so you could just pick up another new one and then train them, have to pay them more, have to meet their needs that you don't know as well. It's just a never-ending cycle unless you really roll up your sleeves and see the benefit of the people that are in your business. Or by the way, if there are people in your business that you don't see the benefit in, respectfully show them the door so that you can make room for someone that actually makes sense for the growth that you desire. So there's so much here, and I have such a passion for sharing with you more ways that you can improve as an owner and as a boss. And this is just one of many things that I plan on sharing and encouraging you through, but it's a tough one. And so whether it's you who's feeling kind of the weight of burnout, or you can identify members of your team who are, I really do wish you the best. I encourage